Welcome to my channel. I hope you like video. Let's start new story. The old mansion stood ominously on the hill, its dilapidated state contrasting sharply with the vibrant greenery surrounding it. Sarah and her family had just moved in, seeking a fresh start after a turbulent year. As they unpacked, an eerie feeling of being watched pervaded the air. Sarah's young daughter, Lily, discovered a dusty, antique doll in the attic. The doll had an unsettlingly lifelike appearance, with glassy eyes that seemed to follow Lily's every move. Despite Sarah's reservations, Lily insisted on keeping the doll. That night, strange noises echoed through the halls, and Sarah felt an inexplicable chill as she settled into bed. Over the following days, Sarah began to notice odd occurrences around the house. Objects moved on their own, lights flickered, and doors creaked open and shut without explanation. Lily's behavior became increasingly bizarre. She started talking to the doll as if it were alive. When questioned, Lily claimed the doll told her secrets and wanted to play games. Sarah's husband, Mark, dismissed her concerns, attributing the disturbances to the house's age. However, Sarah's unease only deepened, especially when she discovered deep scratches on Lily's arms that the little girl couldn't explain. One stormy night, Sarah was jolted awake by Lily's blood-curdling screams. Rushing to her daughter's room, she found Lily thrashing in her bed, seemingly fighting an invisible force. The doll sat eerily still on a chair, its eyes gleaming in the dim light. Desperate, Sarah grabbed the doll and threw it across the room. Instantly, Lily calmed down, but the atmosphere remained thick with malevolence. Sarah decided it was time to seek help, convinced that something sinister was at play. Mark, though still skeptical, agreed to call a local priest for assistance. Father Matthews, an experienced and respected priest, arrived at the mansion the next morning. As soon as he entered the house, he sensed a dark presence. He examined the doll and performed a blessing, but the air only grew colder and the shadows deepened. During the blessing, the doll's eyes seemed to glow with an unnatural light. The priest advised Sarah and Mark to leave the house immediately, warning them that the spirit within the doll was far more dangerous than he initially thought. He promised to return the next day with stronger measures to cleanse the house. Father Matthews returned the following morning, armed with holy water, crucifixes, and other sacred items. Sarah and Mark, now fully convinced of the doll's evil nature, prepared for a battle of wills. Lily, however, was distraught at the thought of losing her friend. The priest began the exorcism ritual, and as the prayers intensified, so did the disturbances in the house. Windows shattered, furniture levitated, and an unseen force attempted to disrupt the ritual. Lily screamed and tried to grab the doll, but Sarah held her back, determined to protect her daughter at all costs. As Father Matthews continued the exorcism, a dark, shadowy figure materialized in the room. It was the spirit possessing the doll, a malevolent entity with a history of tormenting families. The figure lashed out at the priest, knocking him to the ground. Mark stepped in, using a crucifix to fend off the spirit, while Sarah shielded Lily. The spirit's rage intensified, causing the entire house to tremble. Father Matthews, regaining his strength, resumed the exorcism with renewed vigor, chanting prayers and sprinkling holy water. The spirit writhed and howled, its form flickering and weakening under the onslaught of faith. The exorcism reached its climax as the spirit's hold on the doll and the house began to break. The entity's screams filled the air, a cacophony of pain and anger. Father Matthews commanded the spirit to leave, invoking the power of the divine. The doll, now a conduit for the spirit's anguish, started to crack and crumble. Sarah and Mark held on to each other, bracing for the final confrontation. With one last, powerful prayer, the priest forced the spirit out of the doll, sending it back to the darkness from whence it came. The house fell silent, the oppressive atmosphere lifting as the evil presence dissipated. In the aftermath of the exorcism, the mansion felt lighter, as if a heavy burden had been lifted. The doll was nothing more than a pile of shattered porcelain, its once glassy eyes now dull and lifeless. Lily slowly returned to her cheerful self, free from the spirit's influence. Father Matthews, though exhausted, assured the family that the house was now safe. Grateful but wary, Sarah and Mark decided to move out, leaving the mansion and its dark history behind. As they drove away, Sarah glanced back one last time, feeling a mixture of relief and lingering unease, wondering if they had truly escaped the clutches of the possessed. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.